Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Slightly different video today. I'm actually at the bench. It's not usually this clean though. I've just started to set things up ready to have a bit more of a go tonight. So this is for the Chevy Truck Month group build. If you remember, I'm doing a World War II Chevy truck that is a replica or a model of a truck that my granddad used to drive back in Burma during World War II and India. So the cab's basically together, but I've left it so that I can get in there and paint the interior. The cargo area at the back is together, although it's not. The roof isn't fixed, so again I can get that sprayed and get in there and get some paint on that. And then part of the chassis is done. This has got to be one of the most detailed 1/72 kits I've ever built. To give you some idea, and I'll just try and find a pointer, where the springs go onto the chassis. These points here are usually moulded onto the chassis parts, where you had to put those on yourself. So that was a bit different, a bit interesting. One of the things that I've kind of messed up on, I think, and I'll just bring it a bit closer so you can see it, hopefully, if it'll focus for me. Let me just tap the screen. There we go. So you see the metal bit there, that is a part I made, because the part for the kit wouldn't reach from that point to that point. It was much shorter, and I'm wondering if I've made a mistake, in putting this together, and I'll explain why now. I'll just get the instructions. So here's the instructions, and this is the part that I'm talking about, that I had to make out the metal. And as you can see, the disc brakes are basically slotted over that point, and then the drums or whatever are slotted over those, and then that part fits on to the underneath of there. But what I missed was this here, and it says details 47 and 48, drill, and I don't know what that means, 1.7 millimeters, and I just don't know what they mean by that at all. My concern is that the drums, rather than fitting on, say, here, should be fitted on further back, and at this point, I'll just go back to the kit, this point actually pokes through the drum. So rather than on the build, if you look at my build, can you see where it's that point is not coming through? It's almost flush with it, and so I'm worried now that this is too far out. This drum and disc brake is too far out, and it should be further back down here. So when I put the wheels on, they'll be too wide of the cab. So that part of the instructions I felt was a bit ambiguous as to what they actually. Well, I don't understand what they meant by that. I don't know what I was supposed to do there, really. Apart from that, the instructions are pretty good. The slow progress on this, and that's basically because I'm not getting as much bench time as I would like. But I've got 9 days in which to complete this. As you can see, the other axle's got to go on. And I don't think there's much more after that, so hopefully I can get this undercoated and get cracking on it. I just want to give you an anecdote of my granddad's that he told me, obviously before he died. It'd be difficult for him to tell me after he died, and I've just got to get a photo for you. Right, so you see these, the bullock with the cart. Now he told me that these carts used to transport fruits, bananas, pineapples and that sort of thing. Now I think this was very bad of my granddad and his mates. So these bullocks used to come along the track that the lorries were using to deliver stuff. And the lorries, obviously there'd be 4 or 5 of them, would be stretched out along the road, and they'd be travelling along the road. Well, he said what they used to do was one of the lead truck would basically scare or bump this cart into the culvert or the ditch adjacent to the road, and then just drive off. So you've got the owner of the car who was stuck because obviously his bullock wasn't strong enough to pull the cart out of the ditch. So what used to happen was the last truck in the column, which obviously came sometime later, would pull up and basically say to the chap, "You're in the spot of bother, mate," and the guy would say yes or whatever, and he said, "Oh, not a problem." He says, "I'll help you out." And he says, and so they would unhitch the bullock, and then the truck would pull out the cart, and then they'd hitch the bullock back up. Well, the driver was so pleased about being helped that he would always give a load of fruit to the driver. So then what happened was, when the last truck got to where they were delivering the stuff, he would just share the fruit out with the other guys. That's very bad, Grandad. So that's a quick update. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys.